Maria says, every month I have money sitting in a no interest checking account at Chase to cover my monthly bills. Is there a better way to do this? Because I regularly need to move money out of my public.com high yield cash account into my checking account to pay these bills. Is there a checking account out there that pays interest? Is there a better way to pay the bills than from no interest checking accounts? Marie, this is a great question. And I'm sure there are checking accounts out there that have 2, 3, maybe 4% interest inside of them that will, pay that to you as a consumer. I'll find a couple for you here right now that I'll share, but I want to make sure we're on the same page about this, Marie. I believe that having about 1 month's worth of expenses is how much people should keep in their checking account, right? Just kind of willy-nilly there. So for me, I keep about 5, 6, maybe 7,000 in my checking account at any time because that is 1 month's of expenses for me. I don't keep 40,000, right? The 40,000, 30,000 personally I keep is in my high yield savings account on public.com. And so just want to make sure we kind of understand the differences between those. Now, with that being said, Marie, if you're keeping $5,000, $4,000 in a checking account and it's paying you 4% interest, we're talking about a $200 annual bump in interest payments to you. $200 a year. Now, $200 a year could be a lot of money for a lot of people, and I'm not saying that it's not. But what I am saying is you might be over analyzing the situation, right? I think there might be better ways that you can use this brain power to try and earn another $200 a year than trying to move all this money around and find the right accounts and chase it all down. I guess what I'm saying is just take a step back and think about how much time, energy, and focus are you using on all of this juggling just to make $200 a year? I'm not saying that 200 is a small amount, but I'm not saying that you're going to become a millionaire by finding $200 a year for arbitraging all these different accounts.
Yeah, I agree. It really comes down to opportunity cost of your time. And I'll tell a story. Back when I used to run the restaurant with my mother, she would drive, it was like 7.5 miles each way to go to the bakery to buy the bread to save 20 cents a loaf, even though that bakery would deliver to our restaurant anytime we wanted. And I would always say to her, Mother, what are you doing? She's like, well, we're saving 20 cents a loaf and we're getting this, 14 loaves a week of this bread. And I was like, are you doing the math of what you're spending the time on, the gas and the insurance and the wear and tear on the car and your time? So I think this story really relates to that. To save yourself $20 a month, let's call it, is it really worth it to be doing all of this extra activity, moving money around for very little gains? I just don't think it is. I wish there was a way and a strategy we could tell you that made sense for your time. But if you value your time and put a reasonable amount of ROI on your time per hour, I just don't see a way that it's worth it. And I would just get rid of that, stop it, get rid of the stress of doing this and moving the money around all the time, and just keep that amount in your checking account, like Austin said, so you can make the transactions every month without the stress of forgetting or moving the money or any of those things.
Now, I did just do a quick Google search, and Bankrate, which is a really cool resource for people that are trying to find more information about specific fintech platforms and banks and stuff. They've got some top high yield checking account picks to share. I'll give you the top 3 on their website here. I'm seeing Presidential Bank. They pay up to 4.6%, but you have to deposit at least $500. Axos Bank, they are paying 3.3%, and there's no minimum deposit. And then there's Lake Michigan Credit Union that pays 3% with no minimum deposit. So those are just quick 3 checking accounts out there that will pay you some interest to keep it in there, which is really cool. But again, Marie, we're talking about 15 to 20 bucks a month. I guarantee you your time, energy, effort, brain power is much better used somewhere else.